The natural vaccination process starts very early. If you find during, as I told you, during perinatal period, or when the lady is pregnant, sometimes they feel like eating mud, or sometimes when the child is born, he or she feels like eating mud. But you are not going to do so, and I do not prescribe that you do so. But then you can do something naturally. You can do gardening. Now take for example, if a pregnant lady is doing gardening, or a small child is playing in the park with the mud, what is going to happen? Now take for example, I am weeding here, okay? I am weeding the unwanted grass, and I see there are many insects here. And unknowingly or knowingly, when I am doing so, there are stings, and the stings of bees are visible. However, there are so many other stings that are happening unknowingly. So when you are playing in mud, these stings, they naturally develop a sort of immunity in you. In some of the tribes, we have seen the intentional biting of ants, the bullet ants or other ants. They put their hand intentionally into the gloves where there are many bullet ants, and then these bullet ants bite. We cannot do that. I mean, it would be weird to do that. So for natural vaccination, what we can do is, you can bring a mud pot, a clay pot in your house and drink water from it. You will find a different smell of the water. Go for gardening. When you do gardening, you automatically get in touch with a lot of mud, and which is good for your health. In some cases, the doctors say that it's not doctors, some people, researchers, they say that it's a disorder. Eating mud is a disorder. I totally differ. You ought to eat mud when you are, or you are to play with mud. And that's the primary food. The primary food is not a vegetarian food. The primary food is the one which you get directly from the environment. That's what is called primary. Like, take for example, sunlight, air, the nutrients that you get from mud. There are so many: magnesium, calcium, phosphorus, zinc. All these things are in the mud, and they are observed by the plant from the mud. And you can take it directly by doing gardening. Here one more concept comes, is the pain tolerance. So as you play in the mud, those stings and those bites, those mud around, the pain that you feel in the sun, all this will create a sort of pain tolerance in you. Nowadays we find that the children are not at all pain tolerant. A very little thing happen, they get frustrated. Even when there is no electricity, no current, you get frustrated. You do not have pain tolerance to heat, to the environment. You do not have pain tolerance for small injuries like cut and wounds. For every single thing, you want to take a medical aid, and you want to be dependent on medical. So in this part, we are stressing on two things. One is the natural vaccination process. That means you're playing with mud. If not, do gardening. So all those pregnant women and the children, the small child, they should play a lot with the mud. This is going to help as a natural vaccination process, and it will also increase the pain tolerance. And pain tolerance and natural vaccination are two most important things for the development of a child. Thank you.